Following the horrific beheading of a man in Dallas last week, President Donald Trump has spoken out strongly. He called the attack terrible and promised that the accused will face the toughest possible punishment under the law. The president also took aim at the Biden administration, which he blames for releasing the suspect back into the community. He declared that under his leadership, the era of being soft on illegal immigrant criminals is over. New details continue to emerge about the suspect's violent past and the chain of events leading up to the tragedy. Here's more from Dallas.
The shock of a brutal killing in Dallas has drawn a direct response from the White House. President Donald Trump on Sunday condemned the beheading of Indian-origin motel manager Chandramouli Bob Nagamalaya, calling the act terrible and vowing that his administration would no longer tolerate leniency toward undocumented immigrant offenders. The time for being soft on these illegal immigrant criminals is over, Trump declared in a Truth Social post. Expressing sympathy for Nagamalaya's family, he said that he was aware about the brutal beheading, and adding that an illegal alien from Cuba who should have never been in our country. The accused, 37-year-old Cuban national Yordanis Cobos Martinez, was described by Trump as a repeat offender with a criminal record including child sex abuse, grand theft auto, and false imprisonment. This individual was released back into our homeland under incompetent Joe Biden because Cuba did not want such an evil person in their country, Trump alleged, promising that Cobos Martinez would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Alrighty, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. I'm going to start by giving all glory and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, QADASH. And I'm Brother Moore for Delta, Florida, from the camp representing Babylon. Come on, the quick here through the spirit power by YAHAWASHI. Lord went to edify and feed the sheep. Double honor to those an apostle, great MILLSTONE will treat you well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who are pushing this work in truth and sincerity to the scattered abroad. All right, now I want to go into a lesson. All right, as you recently just had in Dallas, all right, where a guy, all right, an Indian man at that, all right, was beheaded by an individual, all right, that was considered a illegal immigrant. All right, which, you know, the topic on these alleged illegal alien or illegal immigrants, you know, here in America has been, you know, the all-time high topic, okay, when it comes to this media, the social media, and the things that's been taking place, okay. Now, with this beheading, you had a situation where even it got to the point where Trump has spoken on this topic, which I'll put the video in there, all right, and you can see it for yourself. But briefly, all right, going into these things, man, all right, the times that we're in, the spirits that's on these people are going to continue to get worse, man. Okay, they're going to get worse, and they're going to start to be more active, all right, as everything gets a lot more tougher, rougher, and ultimately tighter, man. Okay, because the things that's about to come upon this place, it's going to be horrific, man. All right, when you know the scripture says in 2 Ezra chapter 15, the Lord's going to bring great death and destruction, all right, and many more, okay, pestilence, famine, you know, uprising, you know, the whole list, it continues and goes on and on, all right? But we know that in these times, the things that's happening is happening for a reason, all right? This place known as America is on its way out, okay? Now, before we grab the scriptures, okay, I want to go ahead and grab just a simple article, okay? It says, it says NBC 5 Dallas Fort Worth News. Okay, and this is the app. It says, man beheaded with machete at Dallas motel, head put in the trash, police say. Okay, so you had it, some videos that's been surfing in the internet and at this situation, or this guy, you know, being, all right, the attacker, all right, and attack, you know, pretty much attacking the guy in the video and cutting his head off, man. All right, in which, you know, in the video itself, it's a gruesome video, okay. You know, for YouTube purposes and guidelines, you know, you can't put it up, but you can go look it up. All right, just going into this video, man. Okay, what happened? But the point is that you have it in these times, man. Spirits created for vengeance are going to be active, man. Okay, on these individuals, man. All right, not just crash out moments, not just people just having a bad day, but spirits created for vengeance that's going to take place. All right, when an individual is going to be taking another individual's life, man. Okay, which is going to be some terrifying, you know, times that we're coming into, man. All right, especially for individuals who do not have, all right, YAHAWASHI, you see, and that's going to be a sight to see, okay, when it comes to these things. All right, but I'm gonna read a little bit of this article. I'm gonna grab the scriptures. Lord, when this lesson is edifying to you, Akima, to seek the Lord, the truth, sincerity. All right, just straight to the point. It says NBC News 5. All right, where it says man beheaded with machete at Dallas motel. It says put the man's head in the trash. All right, police say. Continuing on, it reads. It says, we're learning more about a gruesome discovery in East Dallas. And we learn, it says, and we warn you, the details are disturbing. We now have the mugshot for, which is the guy the accuser, the one that attacked the individual. All right, his mugshot. It says the man accused of beheading a manager at the motel where they worked. So clearly there was some tension, all right, between these individuals, all right, at this motel, man, that led to this guy, all right, getting his head chopped off, man, which shows you that the spirits that's on these people are only going to get worse, okay? The times we're in, the scripture says the love and many are going to wax cold, all right? And this could be your next door neighbor, okay? This could be a family member. This could be someone that worked with you and a co-worker. All right. These people are on edge nowadays, man. All right. They're on the edge. They're losing out on, getting those bonuses every year. They're losing out on, being able to afford their family, afford for things for their family. All right. They're losing out on a lot of things, man. Okay. As this place is quickly coming to its end. So these people are very on the edge, okay? You could have had an incident where this guy was in the laundromat and was trying to do whatever he had to do, and he wasn't allowing him to completely just, wash his clothes, however. But it led to this guy who was the manager of the motel, Slakia, and, end up with his head rolling down the road. But I'm gonna grab the scriptures, okay, because the scripture says, let me see. Where is it? Scriptures say 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, it says, this know also in the last days perilous time shall come. So perilous time shall come. All right, great troubles. All right, death. All right, we're going to be seeing a lot more death, all right, around as things get worse and worse, okay, as prophecy continues to unfold, okay, right before our eyes, man. You see, we know that more and more as this place get closer and closer towards it ending, that you're going to see a lot more things be more revealed, okay, and that's even the spirits that's going to hop on these people, man. All right, just like we see in the uproars, okay, the sedition, we're seeing the rebelliousness, the revolt, earthquakes, all right, things just really just going, to shit here. It's going to be the same thing when it comes to these spirits that's hopping on these people, all right? So, is reading again, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, All right, and we're gonna see more and more of this, troublesome times come. All right, because you got a lot of people right now that's got their feet kicked up, relaxing, all right, doing as they please. But the Lord has other plans for these individuals, man. All right, which is going to be swooping a lot of these people off their feet when it when it comes. Okay, and I wanted to grab this right here, the book of Ecclesiastes, known as Sirach. All right, chapter 39. I'll read verse 28. It says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them." Right. All right. So you're going to have these spirits that's created for vengeance hopping on these people, on these animals. All right. Whatever it is deemed to fulfill those instructions, all right, from YAHAWASHI to appease his wrath, that's going to happen, man. That's going to take action. All right, those spirits are going to do what was told to them to do it. You see, and nothing can happen or operate, move, and take place here on earth without it being sanctioned from upstairs, man. Without it already being, put in play, put in motion. Okay, YAHAWASHI is in control of these things. Matter of fact, I'll grab that. Okay. The Lord is in control of these things, man. If an individual gets, harmed, or, gets killed, or even they taking their own lives, okay, or get, someone actually, getting healed, or, getting better from a situation. It's all through the works, and the way the Lord's, set things up. Okay. Let me see. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. All right. And like I said, I'm not going to make this too long, just straight to the point. All right. It says, verse 39, "See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal." So the Lord's in control, all right, of what's, coming and going. Okay. What's being wounded and what's being healed. All right. YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. Okay. It says, "Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." You see? So the Lord's in control. Individuals, that these people, man, or when these spirits hop on them, all right, and appeases that wrath, it's already been, played out, and it's already been set up. Okay. From upstairs, coming down. All right. To simplify it, you have it where it's already been, it's already been said and done. In other words, all right, from YAHAWASHI. Okay. You got a lot of these people, think they're doing, whatever they want. Matter of fact, let's grab that. I believe it's in Proverbs, which shows you this man's footsteps in his, his, let me see right here. I believe it's 20, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Yeah, which shows you this man's, his footsteps, all right, towards his, actions, all right, took place, all right, because those things were sanctioned already to happen. Okay. It says Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24. It says, "Man's goings are of the Lord YAHAWASHI. How can a man then understand his own way?" Right. So, hey, the Lord has it where, things are already done. Okay. And you can't just, walk around and do what you please. No, it's not how it works, man. Okay. YAHAWASHI, has everybody's footsteps leading to where it needs to go. Okay. And that's including those spirits created for vengeance. So now let's go back to that. I believe it's Ecclesiastes, all right, chapter 39, verse 28. And it reads that again. It says, verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their fury or force, Salakia, and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right. So these are the things that the Lord, all right, sanctioned to happen, which is a terrifying thing, man. All right. You don't want to be on the left-hand side of, the Lord's whipping stick when he sends these spirits out to go do the job. You see, when you had these, animals, all right, attacking an individual, attacking a kid or a lady or a man, all right, and devouring their body, all right, chewing at their skin and tearing their flesh apart, is because the Lord had it set in that way, man. Okay, whatever they did in their past life, or whatever they might have racked up on, whatever it could have been, the Lord had that spirit created for vengeance, set in that day, in that time, that hour, that year, all right, to, pretty much catch that judgment, man. All right, and that's terrifying. Because as it says in the scripture, it says it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All right, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. All right. And that means the Lord is to be feared, man. All right. It says, let me see. Matter of fact, yep. It continues and it reads back in Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 28, verse 29. It reads, it says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So these things is, for that punishment, man. Okay, punishing the wicked to be destroyed. All right, so you got teeth of wild beasts, fire. All right, all these things, death. Okay, to execute. All right, those things were, it is considered in the scriptures, all these were created for vengeance. Okay, to execute vengeance, man. You see, that's why the scriptures say this in the Hebrews. I'll grab it. I believe I quoted it earlier, but I'll grab it. This is a book of Hebrews. Here it is. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 31. It says, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All right, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. All right, knowing this, that the Lord is in control. All right, what goes and what doesn't. All right, that's a power that you don't want to be on the bad side of, man. Okay, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And you see, you got a lot of these individuals, these people, all right, especially you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American. All right, Jake, all right, that's going to have to taste of those punishments that's going to be brought upon this place, man. Okay, that correction, all right. That's why you had a time of like Jacob's trouble, all right, that's going to come, man. All right, that we even seeing stirred up now. Okay, that's going to, have Jake go through it. Okay, which we know in the book of Isaiah, chapter 45. I'll grab it, verse 7. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. Okay, and it reads, for I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, do all these things. Okay, so once again, that's another reason why the Lord is to be feared. Okay, when these spirits are created for vengeance, because the Lord is in control of these things. All right, a person, has it where a spirit is created for vengeance to demonstrate, all right, that the Lord ain't dealing with your ass, man, or the Lord don't like your ass, man. Matter of fact, he just might want to take your ass out. And you'll have it with the spirits created for vengeance, demonstrates, okay, that the Lord ain't, ain't having that. You see? And once again, we're about to be seeing a lot of these horrifying things, all right, up close, all right, of these demonstrations, man, when it comes to it. Jacob's trouble, okay, especially with Jake. All right, and that's what is about to come and be a rude awakening, all right, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, man. All right, and number one, head honcho of these things, all right, it's going to demonstrate that is what? Esau Edom, all right, the so-called white man. He's not marching in these cities and doing all these things and not even just elaborating on what he's going to do for no reason. All right, he's making it known because he's about to show his horns. All right, just like he spoke on this guy here, that he said he wanted to have the utmost. He wanted the how'd it go? He wanted the penalty of death or penalty of some persecution in that form. All right, to be at his highest. Okay, he wanted the highest persecution for this guy. All right, for what he did and what he was accused of. Okay, beheading this guy. So it shows you that these devils are not playing, man. Okay, you're not playing. But hey, that was on my spirit to bring out. Lord, one of this lesson was edifying to you, Akim, YAHAWAH, they're seeking the Lord in truth and sincerity. All right, to the scattered abroad. Till next time, I want to close it out by giving all glory and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Once again, double honor to those in the Apostle MILLSTONE. We teach you one. Till next time, I say shalom.